What's up, Tech Gang? Stefan here from TechRight. Today I'm going to be comparing the S22 Ultra to the new Galaxy A53 5G. Stay tuned. Alright everyone, hopefully everyone is safe out there. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. We have the S22 Ultra on the left side and we have the A53 5G on the right side. We're going to do a couple of tests and we're going to go over the specifications and basically showing you, is it worth it to buy the S22 Ultra over the Galaxy A53 5G? I know this is quite a weird comparison, but I think this is a really good comparison to do because a lot of people need a phone right now, and for some reason it's kind of been this way. People that aren't really tech savvy, they just get the best phone possible out there. So they get the most specced out phone, the $1,400 phone like the S22 Ultra, when they don't really even use half of the features that are on that device, and they may just need the Galaxy A53 5G and save a ton more money on that. So we're gonna go over this and we're going to show you what is on both these phones and which phone you should buy depending on the price and everything and all the other factors. So let's get straight into this. Starting off with the displays, we have a 6.8 inch 3088 by 1440p display on the S22 Ultra compared to the Galaxy A53 with a 6.5 inch display, a little bit smaller, 2400 by 1080p screen. Now the S22 is going to have a PPI of 501 and the A53 is going to have a PPI of 405. As far as the display technology, the S22 is going to have a dynamic AMOLED display, and the A53 is going to have a Super AMOLED display. Now, obviously, I feel like the display looks much better on the S22 Ultra, but most people aren't even going to be able to tell. I've just been over hundreds of phones, so I can tell pretty easily. But honestly, with the naked eye, I don't think a lot of people are going to be able to tell that it's a better display. Very nice displays on both these devices though. As far as our screen to body ratio, we have an 89% screen to body ratio, very near a 90% screen to body ratio on the S22 compared to an 85% screen to body ratio on the Galaxy A53. Now both of these are very good screen to body ratios. We have very slim bezels on the A53, as you guys can see. We just have a little thick one on the top and bottom. On the S22 Ultra, it's like there's hardly any bezels because of that little curvature right there. So very nice displays, minimal bezels on the S22 Ultra though. As far as our S22 Ultra, we have HDR support, scratch resistant glass, which is Corning Gorilla Glass Victus Plus. This is the best one out right now, I believe. We have an ambient light sensor and a proximity sensor. On the A53 5G, we have a scratch resistant glass, which is going to be Corning Gorilla Glass 5, so a little bit lower grade than the Victus. We also have an ambient light sensor and a proximity sensor as well. Getting into the specifications is where it all changes. The S22 Ultra is going to completely blow the A53 5G out of the water, but do you need this? We have the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, which obviously you're going to be able to run any game on this phone. This runs extremely smooth for day-to-day tasks, and you can basically run this as a computer. This is a full-fledged computer. You can mirror it to your TV and use DeX and run it as a computer. That's how powerful this device is. This device also comes with a pen inside of here. We have our S Pen, so that's capable of that, even though this isn't a Note device, so that's a really cool feature that you get with that. I hardly use the S Pen, but that's a really cool feature nonetheless. But we are comparing that Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, which is the newest chip from Snapdragon, to the Exynos 1280. Much lower processor, still a pretty decent processor, but much lower. Obviously, S22 Ultra is going to blow the A53 5G out of the water, but really, do you need all that power, for just checking Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that? For a lot of people that are getting the S22 Ultra that aren't really tech savvy and they just buy the best one, you're not going to need all of that. You could save a ton of money, cut this price, $700-800 off, and go ahead and get the Galaxy A53 5G, and you're gonna do just fine. As far as the RAM, we start off with 8 GB of RAM on the S22, and we start with 6 on the Galaxy A53 5G. As far as the storage, 128 GB on both. They both have an option to go up to 256, but the S22 Ultra has an option for 512. So that's a really cool storage option, really big storage option. The A53 doesn't have that, but 128 for the base models in both these devices are really, really good. Now getting into the storage expansion, the S22 Ultra, you cannot expand storage, but on here, the A53 5G, you can expand storage up to 1 terabyte. Not that you're gonna need that much memory from a micro SD card, but you can go ahead and upgrade your memory on here, which is really, really cool. Absolutely love that. I believe it is adoptable storage as well, so you can move applications from your previous device to this device. There are easier ways of doing that, but if you have multiple devices, techies know what's up. As far as the software, both these devices have Android 12. I'm not sure how many years were covered for in the S22 Ultra. I'm assuming it should be the same as the A53 5G, but the A53 5G has really, really impressed me. So what's cool about this device is we have 4 major OS updates up to 2026 on the Galaxy A53 5G. So we're going all the way up to Android 16 on the A53 5G. Really amazing stuff. Supported security patches as well. Just amazing stuff for the software on that device overall. It's funny, both these devices are going to have the same battery, 5,000 milliamp battery, non-user replaceable, so you cannot replace it. As far as the S22 Ultra though, we have fast charging, we have Qi wireless charging, and reverse wireless charging. We do not have that on the Galaxy A53, all we have is fast charging. Now, getting into the charging, we have a 45 watt wired charge on the S22 Ultra, and our wireless charge is going to be 15 watts. Going over to the Galaxy A53 5G, we don't have a wireless charge, so our base wired charge is going to be 25 watts, which I think is really, really good still. I don't think anybody's really going to need more than that, but if you guys do like those niceties, like wireless charging and 45 watt charging, that's this is the device to get for you. You know, I wouldn't totally spend $800 more just because of that, but if you guys are really obsessed with the wireless charging and all that type of stuff, and you need that, you know, to optimize for the type of life that you have, you know, you probably already have a flagship device. So Galaxy S22 Ultra has Qi charging, A53 does not. Getting into the cameras, where the S22 Ultra obviously is going to beat the Galaxy A53 5G. We have a 108 megapixel OIS and PDAF quad camera. As far as our secondary, we have a 10 megapixel telephoto. Our third camera is going to also be a 10 megapixel telephoto, and our fourth camera is going to be a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera on the S22 Ultra, and our front camera 40 megapixels, and that is going to be a PDAF camera as well, which is nice. As far as the video capturing, we can go up to 4K at 60 frames per second, which actually looks pretty epic on the S22 Ultra. Going over to the Galaxy A53 5G, we have a quad camera setup as well. Our main camera is going to be a 64 megapixel OIS PDAF camera, which is nice. We also have a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. Our third camera is going to be a 5 megapixel macro, and our fourth camera is going to be a 5 megapixel depth information camera. So decent cameras on both these devices. Honestly, I would see the Galaxy A53 5G, the stabilization with that optical image stabilization, it seems like they did something in the software, but the 4K looks amazing, and the 60 frames per second looks much better than the Galaxy A52. So it seems like they fixed the software inside the camera. So you guys are going to get near flagship quality of like probably a year or two ago. So very, very decent quality on the A52 5G, especially for $450. Amazing stuff so far from that device. Now, as far as the build, this is going to be a little bit different. The Galaxy A53 5G is an all plastic build, obviously just the glass front, but I think the build on this and the compactness and everything about this device, it feels really, really good for the materials that they used on this device. I think it still feels pretty premium. On the S22 Ultra, our back is going to be glass. That's going to be Corning Gorilla Glass Victus, and our frame is actually going to be aluminum. So we have much more premium feeling materials on the S22 Ultra, and honestly, that's not a big deal for me, to be quite honest. I don't care if my device is made out of metal or made out of plastic. Honestly, if you have a plastic device, it's going to be harder to break. So that's always a good thing with the A53 5G. This just feels a little bit nicer, but that type of quality just, you know, you get used to it over time, and it doesn't really last. So it's not like that wow factor is not going to always be like, oh, you know, this is a great feeling phone. You know, it's still going to feel great, but it's going to lose its charm. Also, both these devices have in-screen fingerprint sensors. Now, as you guys see, the difference in the bodies right here is we actually do have a stylus in the S22 Ultra right here. So this device is the first Samsung S device to actually receive a stylus that's not from the Note line. So that's really cool. We get a stylus in this device. We don't have one in the A53 5G. I'm hoping they release a mid-range stylus device from Samsung. I think that would be really cool and it would do very well. So Samsung, you should probably hop on that soon. Cool stuff though. As far as the water resistance, we have water and dust resistance IP67 on the Galaxy A53 5G, and for the S22 we have water and dust resistance, and it's going to be a little bit over. We're going to have an IP68 rating instead, so we have better water and dust resistance on the S22 Ultra. Obviously, both in-screen fingerprint sensors as well. This one is going to be an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor though. I think this one's just our bionic one. Both are very fast, very accurate though. Getting to the good stuff though, the scores. So on our Geekbench score for the S22 Ultra, we received a single core score of 960 and a multi-core score of 3,194, which is literally just going to beat everything. On the Galaxy A53 5G, we have a single core score of 741 and a multi-core score of 1909. So we see a huge difference in both of these scores. Both are running Android 12, but the internals are going to be what brings the S22 Ultra to the top right there. As you guys can see, the S22 Ultra for the single core score just leaves everyone else in the dust. As far as the multi-core score, again, leaves everyone in the dust. The second place one is going to be the S21 Ultra 5G, and as you guys can see, it's just sitting there in second place, over 100 points more on the S22 Ultra, so that's pretty good. As far as the Galaxy A53 5G, this has honestly impressed me. I did a test in a previous video with this device and it's very much impressed me. We're gonna land somewhere in between the Note 20 Ultra for the single core score and the X3 Pro. So still something to not shake a stick at because it's only a $450 phone. Going down to the multi-core score, we have a score of 1909. We're gonna land between the Poco Phone F1 and the Xiaomi Redmi K20 Pro. Not as impressive, but still pretty decent for the price tag. But as you guys see, you know, the performance is going to be really good on both these devices for gaming. I did a gaming test playing Call of Duty Mobile, PUBG Mobile, Genshin Impact, and I got some pretty decent results in the A53 5G. And for the average person, I feel like the A53 5G is a phone that you should pick up. You know, for someone out there that just needs something basic, they need something that is going to have a decent amount of RAM for maybe playing video games. We have NFC in this device. We also have expandable storage. You know, with a $450 price tag on this, I think this is a really, really good phone. If you don't have to spend the money and you're really not going to use all the power inside of the S22 Ultra, you're not going to unlock all of that power, I would not pick up this phone. If you are a techie and you just want the best of the best and you have the money to spend on it, go with the S22 Ultra. But otherwise, I would go with the Galaxy A53 5G, honestly. And even right now, I'm kind of like going back to like, why did I spend so much money in the S22 Ultra? I guess it's just kind of a thing where it's like, I've always wanted a super good flagship phone as my main phone, but you know, this being at $1,400, I don't know. I don't know if that was the best decision because of depreciation as well, but you know, we can make a decision later on that that fixes that. But Galaxy A53 5G is what I think you should pick up. I think the S22 Ultra is extremely overpriced, and you know, they have the S21 FE out right now. Pick up something like that. I think this is just too much phone for the average person, and I don't think everybody's going to use the capabilities that you can actually access on here. I think people are just gonna do their regular thing, go on Instagram, YouTube, and you know, play some games and stuff like that. The A53 5G is gonna cover you. So the winner of this video, as far as price and everything, I would go with the A53 5G based off of all of the factors. It's just a better overall phone for the price tag. But yeah guys, hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, please leave a like down below, as well as subscribing if you're not part of the Tech Gang already. Also hit the notification bell if you guys want to be notified every time I do upload a new video. This has been Safon from TechRight. Peace out, Tech Gang.